Dave's of Thunder is taped before a live studio audience.
Dave, 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 Dave. Dave, 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 Dave. Dave, Dave, and Dave. Dave, Dave, and Dave. David and Dave, Dave.
Hi, and hello, podcasters. It's your old pal, Dave Damashek. I hope all's well wherever you are. Welcome to episode whatever of Dave's of Thunder. Dave Damashek here. David Feeney over there. David Feeney. We got a big show lined up. We're going to look back at some of the Win Play show we did last week, review some of the BTL and or monkey submissions there.
I didn't agree to that. I didn't agree to the Win Play show thing.
All right, well, we don't have to do it. We can negotiate.
When did we talk about that? Gary and Don, we never discussed that in the production meeting.
Well, here's what else we're going to do. We're talk about looking back. We're going to look back at some of your, what do you call that when you have a writing name? What's that called? A fake name?
Nom de plume, nom de voyage,
yeah,
a pseudonym?
Whatever. We're going to look back at some of your best work of writing letters to baseball teams and local drinking holes and so on and so forth.
Yeah, but we're not doing that just willy-nilly. We're doing that for a reason, which we'll get into later.
That's what we're going to do. We're into the show now. You understand. The show has begun.
How are you? Can I say one thing? Just really, really quickly. You look fantastic once again.
Oh, well, so right back at you.
I'm not the first person to say this to you. I know 19 suits you.
You know what? I'd like to disagree, but you know that I abide by a strict no jive policy. Speaking of which, I'm immodestly excited to say that CXXII is sweeping the nation. A lot of people are hitting me up on social media and otherwise to ask questions and show me their personal CXXII. This is, of course, a combo before CXXII made the scene. CXXII was made, and people have asked, what's a good pairing for CXXII? Well, we're just about at summertime. We're past Memorial Day, so you know what that means, everybody. It's rosé season.
That's very nice. I can see the reflection of my fat face in that rosé. What's in CXXII again? Can you please remind the audience what's in CXXII? Because
that's
tell me if I'm wrong. There's CXXII. There's a CXXII, which is your version of the BLT but with Dijon, and there's CXXII, where you put your name into movies like Checking Miss Daisy, that kind of thing.
That's right. It's all happening. It's all coming together. Is the point.
Did this come to you in a dream? This idea? I'm just going to put my name on everything.
Okay. Yeah.
It
maybe.
Did.
Yeah.
It did.
It was Mo Damashek's dream, or her assumption that one day her only masculine child would one day rule all things in the zeitgeist.
You made enough love. You've made enough babies with your name on it. Now you're going to kind of do that in other ways. Okay.
Now everything else. Yes. Yeah. Now my world takeover continues. How are you?
Can I ask one more thing? How is your love life now in 19? Can I ask? Can I be specific? Can I work blue? How's it going?
Well, I've seen a lot. I mean, the specifics of what goes on between the sheets will stay there. But I'm pleased to say that we are not going to be among that dire statistic that a lot of people are at least predicting is what's going to come out of the 19, which is divorce. We're going to be lousy with divorce, people say. No, I would say it's the opposite. The home life has never been better here. With the
Why has it never been better?
All 4 kids, because we're shut. Listen, because I think you take stock and you start to consider who would it be worse to be shut in with. I think that's my glass half full nature, is to consider how much worse it could be. How's it by you though? How are things going when the lights go out?
My last dream for you was that all 4 kids on a roof and both wives under one roof. How great would that be? How great would that be?
There you go.
There's 7 of you. There's your next sitcom. There, put that on CBS.
21st century update to the Brady Bunch. That's right. Damashek kicks. The 2 ladies have to raise my progeny.
Great idea. That's actually a great idea. I love that idea.
The hilarity ensues from there. I'll let you figure
out. Life is
specifics.
fine over here. Life is great. Life is real. Hanging out, making a difference, making it happen. We're having a good time. We're doing our best. We're doing our best.
I see behind you, if anyone happens to be watching over listening, we appreciate you doing it either way. You can track us down, davesofthunder.com, or anywhere you find your favorite podcast. But the new feature as of 4-5 weeks ago is we're now we're now bludgeoning you by also providing you with video of us having these inane conversations. So check those out on YouTube. Let's bring up Gary right now from wherever he sits in.
Can we talk about the screen? Can we talk about the screen behind me right now?
I was going to say you're in our favorite, not just in Tom Bergen's as your backdrop there on the YouTube video, but you're specifically right in the booth or very close to our favorite booth, right next to where our Shamrocks used to hang on our beloved Tom Bergen's. And you can check that out. Gary, let everybody know if they aren't aware already. How can you track us down and watch the magic be made?
Yeah, well, you can just go ahead and follow any of us on social, specifically at DOT Podcast, and we'll put the link up there. YouTube has weird rules where you have to have your site established for 30 days before you can get a custom URL. So hopefully before the next episode, a /youtube.com/Daves of Thunder or something.
Yeah, it's been 30 days, hasn't it? It's been 30 days.
It's been like 29. I looked right before the show. So we need another couple days, and then we'll put it up with a custom URL, and we'll be sending that out on our social media as well.
Whose fault is that? Is that Donovan's fault? Who should I yell at?
That's a YouTube thing, so I guess Donovan.
Donovan, what happened? Where are you, sir?
Hey, guys.
Look at this handsome face. My goodness.
Just back from Houston, Texas.
Did you get a haircut, Donovan?
I did get a haircut, yes.
Who cut your hair? Your lady cut your hair.
No,
Adam Carolla.
I wanted her to cut my hair. She didn't want to touch it.
Why didn't she want to touch it?
She liked it long, and she was too nervous she would mess it up.
Because as Damage Like I said, that's true or false. The Damage Like, that's the bellwether for a relationship kind of going down.
When the lady starts,
when she starts saying, I don't want to cut your hair. It's disgusting. That's not my role. True or false?
Well, you favor and have with all due respect to the missus, many of your ladies, you think that for some, I don't know why it makes you come out of your pants when your ladies have
come out of my pants.
Face. Yeah,
when
I don't know
what
that is, but what the connection is there. I've never had one of my lovers shave me though, so I can't really say that you're wrong about that.
All 5 of your lovers never shaved your face ever?
Not a one of them.
Really?
One of them. No.
Can that end on the podcast next week when Beth shaves your face?
No, I think I've stumbled into another $1 million idea. I'm assuming that Donovan got his hair cut by Adam Carolla, and that could be a great new feature is celebrity haircuts, but it's not the celebrities getting the haircuts. They give them, because I think the random person would submit themselves like, I know it might be a crummy job, but when's the next chance, David Allen Greer is going to offer to cut my hair free of charge.
And like of all the celebrities ever that in the world right now, you go to Dag first.
Dag.
Here's my question to you. You know how Johnny Damon had the beard for years and years, and then he had it shaved off for charity. So like Julian Edelman had the beard shaved off for charity. Can you do your part to help heal this nation during this terrible age of 19 and have people bid on your beard to get shaved?
To shave me?
Yes, that's right.
Certainly. I'm a patriot, first and foremost, lowercase p, of course. By the way.
What a run we went on. 6 rings.
I know you went on a run, but I just saw that Dick Seymour is the latest to be announced as a Hall of Fame, whatever it's called, the Patriots Hall of Fame.
Yeah, they get the red jacket. So what?
I mean, the height of irony, no? That the Patriots, so named after our revolutionary heroes who fought back the British best, the Redcoats, what you get as a reward for doing good football for the New England Patriots is a red coat. Bizarre.
Gary, can we hear
That's good. I don't care how many times I've said it.
Can we hear some Porta Juggies, please?
And for travel, Porta Juggy fits easily into the overhead compartment. See you in Miami.
Okay.
Porta Juggy. Just like a real juggy, only smaller.
That's what got me hired on the Man Show, friend.
Good for you. No. I got you hired on the Man Show, don't forget.
Mm-hmm, yeah, that was
your blood, sweat, and tears all over that packet. Anyway, so what's up with you this week? Well,
nothing. As I see Tom Bergen's behind you, I'm reminded of well, I mean, many forgotten drunks.
Is there any?
By the next morning, many of the drunks.
Is there any booth that you look at right now in this picture that we don't have a crystal clear memory of? Like, how many stories do we have in each of these booths?
Too many to count, but I do know the one close to the front by the main bar was where you were down in the dumps, really, just inconsolable over, I don't know what, your latest heartbreak or whatever. But you insisted that I eat a steak while you had nothing. And then when I finished the steak, you demanded that I order another steak and consume that in its entirety. And upon its completion, thrust the steak knife into your heart, because that's what a true friend would do. Which, I couldn't do it. I couldn't bring myself to do it. I did it all dutifully until the end.
In that front booth, I remember that I ate 2 steaks in front of you. I did do that.
That's right.
I ordered a steak, and then I said again to the waitress, what was her name? What was the blonde waitress's name? Eileen? Helen?
That's a good question. Our kooky old one, the kooky older one. She's passed on.
For some reason, I always remember that you had a bass, but never remember that I like my heart. But in front, remember that?
That's true. The same waitress every time for about 2 or 3 years in a row. Same woman waited on us every single time. Always knew what I wanted to drink. Could never recall what David said.
Bass and remind me, like it was that thing. But I remember, because right in front of that booth also was the coat check stand, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's where there was some guy there holding court one night, and it really upset you that some guy was just like he was holding court like Capote at 54, cracking wise. And so then when we walked out of the place after about 4 hours, and you had a bind on, you gave him a $5 bill, you tipped him.
Listen, he was putting out that night. He deserved something for the effort, right?
We've spent probably $40,000 at that bar.
Is that that's an interesting?
Probably right. That's probably right.
Okay, let's go with that.
Okay.
So yeah, one thing I did want to point out, that we've had mostly good times over here, as much as one possible, or as a gang possibly could. But one thing that happened to me to sort of illuminate how weird these times are, I walked straight into a sliding glass door the other day. Somehow my giant nose escaped injury. I don't know how, but I bonked myself. Right? I mean, I walked straight into a glass door. So I'm not 100%.
How did that happen? What are the details surrounding that?
I mean, I can't recall any from the head wound, but I did.
Distracted reading, Damashek. I know a number of things about Damashek. One of them is he loves the New York Times in the morning. It was a harbinger. Beth has to iron it, but it's a big thing. Damashek got to read his New York Times in the morning.
There's something about the feel of those pages between my fingers that just can't be. What's wrong with those people? Weirdos talking sexually about sensually.
Going Facebook. What happened? Did you fall backwards? What happened? Is the glass broken?
No, it was one of those ones. It wasn't alone. Did anybody see that? But I didn't even have to wonder because my children were all delighted.
Were you hungover? Were you hungover? Still drunk?
Let's go with that. Yeah, let's say both.
Did you have a morning session with the wife, and because of that, you were kind of delirious?
All of it. I was off my mark that day. I walked right into a glass. What kind of buffoon does that? And it also is a harbinger of things to come. This is as good. That's the grim thing at this point.
Go on.
Okay, maybe some working out. When you're 23, you can make a case. Okay, I've let myself go a little bit, but get in the gym and whatever for a few weeks, months, and I'll be a better version of me. But the intellectual decline is well underway. Obviously, the physical decline is too. This is it. This is the sad thing is, as imperfect as I am as we talk at this moment, this is as good as I'll ever be again. That's grim.
Mentally too, you think?
All of it. How am I going to get better mentally than I am right now?
These kind of thoughts happen every time around your birthday. It happen every time around June 11th, right? June 11th?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Thank you.
But this year...
August 11th.
This year, it's a big one.
Mm-hmm.
This year for Daddy, it's 50, right?
I think so. I don't remember.
50. So the plan. What are the plans for the birthday? You going up north?
Well, initially.
Why aren't I included in these plans? I wasn't included in the goddamn wedding. Why aren't I included in these birthday plans?
Well, a few months ago, before the 19 came into our lives, there was some talk of a party, and then we kind of realized, like, oh yeah, I don't have any friends, so that wouldn't work. and then we thought about, well, then the 19 dawned, and I suggested what I thought was a lot of fun. I'm a big fan of what Nicholson does in About Schmidt when he loads up in the Winnebago and drives it. And
his wife died?
I'm not saying nothing. No one wants that. Now.
Oh no! I want to hear I want to hear this About Schmidt panel. I'm sure it's great, but I'm telling you right now, I Damashek back in January, February, when he and Beth are planning this birthday party, and he realizes no one's going to come. He's like, Lord Jesus Christ, can you please have something occur or happen to this world where I am forced from throwing my own 50th birthday party? 19 is your fault, sir.
Like Sammy Sosa after a home run upstairs, the man upstairs. Thank you for that. The I thought
did he juice, by the way? Did he juice?
Sosa, yeah, I think he might have taken something along the way. Yeah.
Albert Bell?
Did any of them not? Did any high-end ball player besides Ken Griffey Jr. of that era not juice?
I woke up early. I could not sleep. It was about 3:00 in the morning, Los Angeles time. And I want to hear the Nicholson panel. I couldn't sleep. It was on the MLB Network. Was the Cleveland Indians dynasty, the dynasty that almost happened. It didn't happen, and it was outstanding. And I had forgotten that Albert Bell corked his bat for about 6 months. I had forgotten that he corked his bat. The White Sox, I think it was the White Sox or the Yankees, I want to say White Sox, took the bat, had the umpires take the bat, they put it in a room, and then one of the Indians went through the ceiling and then stole the bat and replaced it with a Paul Sorrento bat. That was his doing.
The all-time greatest attempt to avoid indictment for cheating blatantly was when Joe Niekro was surrounded by the umpires because he was scuffing the baseball, and they're literally encircling him.
Right.
And he goes into his back pocket and grabs the nail file that he was using, and he takes it, and in one motion has the nail file and throws his hands in the air to say, what are you guys even looking for? And he throws the nail file away, and only one umpire there. I don't know if there were the guys on the line, if there were 6 or just 4 umps, but the one umpire just so happened to barely catch the thing out of the corner of his eye and kind of looked over at it and caught it. Otherwise, it would have been one of the greatest things ever because he would have gotten away with it in the moment. But then after the game, everybody on TV would have said, he just threw the nail file, but the umps wouldn't have known it. And so they wouldn't have been able to rectify it until after.
Is there a rule in Major League Baseball you cannot wear gel or mousse in your hair?
Oh, I don't know about that.
Because that to me seems like the most obvious thing you can do. Because the greatest doctoring I ever saw was in Bad News Bears when my Tatum O'Neal put the Vaseline on the brim. Lick her finger, wipe it off on the brim. You can watch my Patriots where they defeated your Seattle Seahawks. Lick finger, wipe it off on the brim, but the brim's got Vaseline on it, and you can throw a spitter, which is great. But
I got to ask you because we're talking about baseball get-ups and such. I think that I was talking with your friend Adam Carolla a week or two ago about why do you
No, because you name drop. I'm telling a story. You name drop.
I was curious. He and I were talking about this. My hypothesis is that David Feeney in Little League did not give a whip. Didn't care a lick about how he looked in the uniform. He just cared about how he played. Damashek obsessed over his stirrups, the height of his stirrups.
What a great, okay.
I
did as well.
Stirrup height was everything to me. And I legitimately think about me whatever you want. Stirrups, kids, for the younger listeners, may not know. But and what a weird thing in hindsight, too, that you would wear regular white socks, but then over the socks you would put on the so-called stirrup. Now, modern ball players just have the stripe sort of sewn onto the white sock. But we would put those on. And I think it is a big part of why I took to your friend Jim Rice back in the day. because he knew how to wear his stirrups, because he wore his stirrups the right way. I like that very much. And I used to fixate on the height of my stirrups, and I would work on it. I couldn't leave the house until I got them just so.
I was obsessed with the way I looked on the field and the way I played, but more the way I looked because I didn't want to be made fun of. But the stirrups were huge. That was a big deal. Speaking of that, baseball, I said this before, the production man, I don't know if you were part of it. This is the very first trophy that I've ever gotten.
Ah, look at that.
I got. Oh, let me take the nonsense off. Where is it? This is the very first trophy I ever got. Baseball. We were the Carter's 19th hole Royals, and we won the championship. The best thing I've ever done in my life.
Was there when you were in Little League? Was there a Red Sox team?
Yeah, there were. There were Red Sox, there were Royals, there were Expos, White Sox, Dodgers, Cardinals, Cubs.
That's so crummy, I think.
I
because
agree.
One team, why make one the Red Sox? Then everybody else feels like they got a raw deal. My sons, Jean-Claude Van Dameshek, played flag football again this past autumn, and he was on. I mean, I don't want to get they didn't have Rams and they didn't have Chargers, which is good because of course everybody locally wants the local team, but instead he was on the Texans. Now they couldn't take it. There are 32 teams. There weren't 32 teams in the league. Why would you go with the Texans of all the teams you go with in Los Angeles? The LA Texans.
What a great point that is. When we won this trophy, when we won our championship back when I was 10 years old, the Royals, I think they defeated the Expos. We defeated the Expos. Why would you name it? We defeated the Expos 4-3. Why would you name a team the Expos in 1984?
It's a terrible thing. Nobody wants to be on that.
What sense does that make? The Expo, who cares? The Expos.
I was on the Giants, which I guess was fine.
As was I later. We won my second championship.
Later, I was on the Rockets. Green and gold were our colors. I didn't care for them. I didn't care for the name. It had nothing to do with baseball.
A baseball team named the Rockets?
Yeah, I didn't like that. I
don't like that. I don't like that either. Right before we played the Royals, I played on the Royals. I played on the Tasso Pizza Wildcats. Why would you name the team the Wildcats?
Right. Rockets, that didn't make sense. And I was also in T-ball, I was on the Rams, and the Rams colors were red and brown.
Yeah.
Is that, outrageously awful for somebody who cares about you. You know what? I never thought about that. Maybe that was the moment that uniforms became so important to me because I knew brown and red made no goddamn sense on a diamond. And so I rejected him. But I remember that we reached the title game, and David Gefsky and I were in the outfield, and the best hitter in the league, Jimmy Neese, was at the plate. He was on, by the way, here's another funny one. Jimmy Neese was on the Sox, not on the Red Sox, not on the White Sox, just the Sox.
Who was putting together these teams?
I mean, somebody who didn't care, I guess. Somebody who
Lee Dameshek had no role in this?
At 4:58 p.m. on a Friday. I forgot. We got to name all the Little League teams. Let's just come up with something fast here.
Would your mom
Sox, SOX on the Sox.
Would your mom, dad, and both your sisters come to all these games or no?
Yes.
They didn't mind seeing middle brother strike out 3 times?
How dare you? So what? For the first 2 seasons, maybe that's exactly what happened.
Batting in the 7 hole? Okay.
You know what? Gefsky and I were great because one batted first, the other batted ninth, and we were almost both guaranteed to wind up on base because we were diminutive, relatively speaking. I was a lefty, so I would walk all the time. David Gefsky was shorter, and so he would just walk because they couldn't hit the strike zone. It was kind of like when the St. Louis Browns ran Wee Willie Keeler. Is that right? Did I get that name right?
Keeler, sure. Donovan, check on that.
That's Donovan's grandfather.
If I could transport myself to any time, some say, "Oh, go save Lincoln." All right, that's a thought. I would really, with my body right now, if I could go back in the minor leagues or major league when I played Little League baseball, and with my strength now and play and just hit home run after home run, it would be the best.
People forget with the whole, I'd go back and kill Hitler. Well, of course, if you kill Hitler, you don't exist. none of us exist.
Why? Go ahead.
Well, I mean, pretty straightforward. The butterfly effect. I'm well versed in the results of butterfly affecting things, what ifing things. Speaking of which, you can go to NFL.com/whatif and find out the answer to many of pro football's greatest.
Gary, look at him plug.
That's right. But now
all he does is plug. Hey, Gary, do me a favor. Can I see some robots fighting each other, please?
The best and brightest and most evil minds from around the world have traveled here with one purpose: absolute metal destruction.
Bill, that's exactly right. And these robots have come from far away as Britain to put their battle skills to test. Yeah, they want $5 grand to this single elimination competition.
Here's how it works. The fights last 3 minutes unless there's a knockout. Judges award points for aggression, strategy, and damage inflicted.
The unknown danger in this bout is the arena itself, which is known as the battle box.
That's where we're headed, bub. I hope you enjoy it, because that's where we're going. We can't have the human beings out there.
I don't know what that means.
Soon the robots will do all of our dirty work for us. Soon they'll play our football and baseball and hockey. We can't put ourselves out there.
Speaking of your Pirates, right? Because you're wearing a Pirates hat, and I appreciate that. They try their best. I want to remind people. So once in a while, what do? I crack wise on the internet, don't I? I write some letters to some people.
Oh, that's right. Oh, we're jumping to that. What a transition.
I thought you wanted that. You said, let's do that early, you said.
I did say that, but then we got sidetracked with delightful, important conversation.
God forbid I segue. God forbid, Gary.
Can I vibe out? Because I'm in the middle of telling you.
No. I'm so sorry. We're going back to your
I'm telling you about Tom Swalwell, the skipper of the Giants in the title game.
You had your RV panel.
Against – please, can I work out my Little League chunk here without the interruption?
Of course.
From the audience, I don't come to where you work and knock down whatever, sir. Listen, now, Jimmy Neese, Tom Swalwell.
Look at that beautiful guy. Look at that beautiful man.
Well, the listener doesn't know what they're looking at, but it's me with my shirt fully open, proud, unapologetic. If you're waiting for an apology for looking like that, settle in. It's going to be a long night.
You're dressed like Soprano, not unlike the impression of Tony Soprano you did the night before at my toast. Oh yeah. Hey, I got Paulie Walnuts over here. Gabagool! Hey, Carmella, you think Meadows gonna have a wedding like this?
Right? Like that? Now, the Jimmy Neese was at the plate, the most fearsome slugger in all the Churchill area Little League. For the Sox was up there, and our skipper Tom Swalwell, Gefsky, and I were in the outfield, and he was yelling to us, "Move closer together! Move closer together!" And we're like, "Okay," and we were basically about what would be appropriate for social distancing here in 2020. Nevertheless, Jimmy Neese caught a line drive, and it went right. And we're in the outfield. It on a rope went right in between the two of us, and we did that thing where you throw your glove up over your head and you chase the ball. It was too late. Jimmy Neese, round tripper. They beat us 7-1 in that game. I got no championship trophy. A runners-up trophy is the best.
How often do you think of that day? Once a month?
Not a day goes by.
Really? What do you think about more? That loss or your first marriage?
Too close to call. Now, all right. Now make your pro segue.
You had your Alexander Payne about Schmidt, Jack Nicholson panel all set to go.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. I was just going to say that, like him, I was going to jump behind the wheel of a Winnebago and drive all the gang here in Southern California, drive them to the banks of the Three Rivers, where Momo and Pop-Up would await us with open arms and masks across their faces. And it would be a gay time, but for...
What does that mean? You go in their front yard, just kibitz with them, or what?
To Pittsburgh? No, we would go and we'd stay with the old people. I don't know. But I don't know to what end, but got shot down.
That's what Mrs. Feeney and I have been talking about this week. How do we see the grandparents? What do we do? Mm-hmm. All right, let's all get tested. Jennifer's mother had 19.
She did, huh?
Yeah, 19. She did. All right, so fine. Then let's test her again. And let's wait 14 days. Then let's me, Mrs. Feeney, and the daughter. Let's me, Jennifer, and Francis. We get in the RV. We drive cross country. We go see the mother-in-law. We pick her up, drive her back, and have her stay with us.
I love it. What a great
idea. That's a great idea.
Make a documentary out of the whole experience, right?
By the way, I've never looked better, right? Look how handsome I am.
I think that sometimes these trials that life puts us through are result in things that you wouldn't have expected, like your head of hair. For some reason, your hair growing out is better than it's ever been before.
It's changed everything. My relationship with my wife, my coworkers, everything. And Damashek, Gary, Gary, vote on this, but Damashek again has darkened more of his beard this week. He's still leaving the salt and the pepper, right? Where's Gary? On lunch?
I think Gary fell asleep, yeah.
Gary,
I'm right here.
That Charger shirt?
Yeah, listen, when you have a little baby, the washer and dryer are always occupied, so it's hard to get my clothes washed.
Wait a second. You're doing the wash right now?
Sure, I always do my own laundry.
But they're in the show, boy.
No, not right now. I'm not doing it right now. What I'm saying is I'm down. No,
that's where you were.
No. I'm getting deep into the t-shirts. You know, I wouldn't normally break this out outside of the NFL season, but I'm digging deep right now is what I meant to say.
That's time to get excited. Tyrod Taylor.
How about next? I'm not going to say this is my idea. This is Donovan's idea. Next week, we're all shirtless.
Ooh.
What about that? Donovan, what do you think?
I'm in.
I expected more Donovan there.
Oh, well, it's pretty self-explanatory.
I like the idea of you cooking throughout the show, David Feeney, like Amy Schumer. By the way.
Hey, asshole, you hated that idea last week.
I did not. Your audio wasn't working.
Donovan, don't go away, sir. Hey, Beard, don't go away. True or false, I was ready to cook a steak and martini and everything last week, and what happened? Damerson like, I can't hear him. I don't know. Going off his manch. I don't like it. So we aborted it, right?
I don't remember who said something, but yeah, the sound part was an issue with somebody.
And Donovan, by the way, we were promised a song this week. What happened? What happened?
I didn't have time. I'm sorry. It's
didn't have time. Your flight from Texas, there wasn't 3 or 4 hours there to kind of write something down.
I didn't have a guitar with me.
You're busy looking at a mirror at your haircut.
that does take a lot of my time these days too. So it's.
How's your love life going, Donovan?
Well, I think you just got your answer there. Donovan was down in Texas. And you know what they say about what happens in Texas.
Oh, damn it. Oh my God. Can we go to some bits, please? Can we go to some material, please?
Yes, we also though do have the Q and Daves to get to and some win play show if you want to look back at some of the BTL and Monkeys responses to there. But go. What's that? Why don't you like win play show? I find it.
First, it's because it's just list. It's another way. It's how he's sliding in list. You see that, Donovan?
All right, go ahead. I agree that the gold is these letters.
Oh, me. Let's do some win play show.
The win play show. Damashek tweeted about it last week.
What happened? Forget.
My phone just was going off with all these notifications about responding to Damashek's win play show.
How awful to get feedback from something that we talked about on one of our shows.
Why haven't you come home? We're supposed to be engaged. Why'd you propose then? Water cooler.
No, these are from tweets from Shaq.
That water cooler.
Oh, you know what? David Feeney is way too cool for school to have any knowledge about what happens on water cooler. Gary, why don't you ask Feeney the question that you asked me on social media a few days ago?
You were on water cooler?
No, I would like to be. I was given an invite, but it was an empty one. It was like, show up anytime you want. It's like, well, I can't just show up whenever I want.
We told you it was tomorrow. How dare
I said I would do it, and then I never heard back.
I'm completely on Damashek's side with that. That's ridiculous. You give him what he needs. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Gary.
You want me to find the image here?
No, just ask the question that you asked me.
All right, Feeney. How do you cut your sandwich? Do you cut it down the middle to create rectangles, or do you cut it diagonally and create triangles?
It's a great question. Whenever I do it with my daughter, who's 5 years old, it's always rectangles, right? Or I do it in 5 little, whatever I do, like grilled cheese, I make it grilled cheese fingers. I do like 5 little fingers, right?
The fingers are a great move. Good for you figuring that out, Feeney, with just your first one. Took me
But
at
for
least
me,
till my third.
I'm going to go off book. I'm so sorry. I make a circle. Make a circle of the sandwich. The crust, everything goes away, and I eat the circle. That's what I do.
See, Feeney is sensible. Function over style. Gary and his kind, they like the triangle because it looks better, but it's functionally.
No, untrue. It is
It's
purely
floppy. A triangle is floppy. Stuff falls out of it when you have the triangle.
Well, it depends what the sandwich. By the way, it depends what the sandwich is. With all due respect to you, Damon, because I agree with you. If it's a grilled cheese, I maybe will go a triangle if I'm feeling saucy. But if it's a club sandwich, no, I'm not going to go triangle. That's crazy.
It's unwieldy.
What if you're making a Shekwich?
Oh, well, that's a different question altogether. No, same answer.
A BLT with Dijon. He thinks he's goddamn Thomas Edison.
Look at how that's the one that busts them both up.
I can't.
That's the one that brings them back to life.
Oh, God forbid I score. God forbid I get one in.
Look, all of a sudden the cruise control has come off from Donovan and Gary because that one shook them out of it. They just hit the speed bump going 55. Terrific.
All right, so let's do this thing real quick.
Okay.
As you recall, because I'm a saucy minx. I wrote some letters to the Pittsburgh Pirates years ago.
That's right. You're a page maker, non-parallel in the 21st century.
Right.
You can't help it. It's who you are.
Sometimes I get restless and I crack wise.
Right.
It's just going to remind some people. So lately I've been emailing with JetBlue Airlines is what I've been doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not ready to unveil those yet. But what I am going to do is unveil to show people who are maybe late to the party what I have been doing over the years. Sometimes emailing operations, emailing teams, emailing restaurants that I like that you'll see in a minute. And this is what I do. I just send them emails and I see what I get.
Complaints. You send them your complaints, and so your latest target is JetBlue.
My latest target is JetBlue, and next week I'll show you what the JetBlue emails are.
That one's still in the oven.
But to show people what I do, I decided we're going to go back in time and show some people some emails. What do you think?
I love it. Play the hits. Play the greatest hits.
Let's play that. So the first one was I emailed the Pittsburgh Pirates to get them to change their name. We first aired this a little while ago, but we never got to see the letter. And now I'm going to show the letter. I scanned it.
Just for the sake of history, I want to make sure that we keep everything precise. You first wrote to the Los Angeles Dodgers to complain about the state of.
Oh, that's right.
urinal.
I did. That's right. I did. I forgot about that.
You attacked the Dodgers at Chavez Ravine because you didn't care for their urinals.
I didn't like the cleanliness of the urinals. That's correct. I didn't like that at all. I was very. By the way, I should have found that one, Gary, instead. I was very angry with them, and they responded, and they were very cool about it, whatever. So then I decided, and I had jury duty. This is years ago. I had jury duty, and I was bored, and I decided I was there for a week. I'm just going to start emailing people. So I emailed the Raiders, the Oakland Raiders, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Golden State Warriors, and I emailed the Pittsburgh Pirates. And so I emailed the Pittsburgh Pirates, and this is the letter that I sent. I'm going to read it right now.
Great.
To the Pittsburgh Pirates, 115 Federal Street, Pittsburgh, PA. To whom it may concern, I'm ready to ask you to change the name of your baseball club. I recently turned 40. To honor the occasion, my girlfriend Megan charted my genealogy. I thought it was a creepy thing to do. Even though we've dated for 11 years, it didn't give her the right to pour through my entire family history. And I especially didn't appreciate the phony entry she wrote in listing her and I as married. Needless to say, we got into a huge argument. She left in tears. What a birthday.
First paragraph to the Pirates.
After I opened her other present, a scarf she knitted. We live in L.A. My girlfriend does not use her brain. I went through the genealogy chart. I smiled when I saw that Megan traced my roots all the way back to Palmer Wellington Dolometer, who was born in 1680. Cool. That smile turned to a vengeful grimace when I saw that Grandpa Palmer, I probably would have called him Papa, was murdered. This is where you come in. Papa was done in by John Rackham. a pirate captain sailing during the first 20 years of the 18th century. He was commonly known as Calico Jack. Papa was working on a fishing vessel when Calico Jack and his ship, Kingston, attacked his boat. Everyone on board, including Papa, was tortured and killed. The physician's report said he was carved from fin to feather. No idea, but it sounds obscene.
To the Pittsburgh Pirates.
They have no idea what's going on.
Reading this letter at the Pirates front office. I love it.
I Googled this Calico Jack son of a bitch and saw that he was gibbeted, which I guess is fancy talk for hanged in Jamaica in 1720. This brought little comfort to me. Why? Because I started to think of all the other people whose ancestors were also murdered by pirates. Then I started to think of your ball club. Why would you want to be associated with such a historically criminal and bloodthirsty group? They robbed and slaughtered people. What kind of example are you setting? The city of Pittsburgh has an amazingly rich and proud tradition, which is true. Surely you can come up with a mascot that didn't pay their bills by raping and killing innocent sailors. I assume there was rape involved. Pirates are gay, right? Now, I know you have thousands of people writing to you with problems, but no solutions. I'm not going to be one of those people. Therefore, I have come up with alternative names for your team. They are the Pittsburgh Beavers, the Pittsburgh Warhols, Pennsylvania Professional Men's Baseball Club, Pittsburgh Yinzers, the Pittsburgh Champions, and the Iron City Pirates. These names are my gift to you.
The last one is maybe the best. The Iron City Pirates.
Well, but the fact
is
that
a solution ultimately, really?
Calling them pirates makes no sense.
Right.
These names are my gift to you. Better than a scarf, am I right? I only ask you send me a check for 49 cents, the cost of the postage stamp. In this politically correct world we live in, where teams are assaulted for having racially insensitive mascots, shouldn't we keep our eye on the ball about what really matters? Human lives. Pirates violently took thousands of them. Now it's our turn to get delicious revenge. Denounce and disown these cutthroats. Don't let Papa's grisly death be in vain. I'll know you do the right thing. Sincerely, D. Penny. P.S. Megan dumped me. Her loss. Yeah.
Wait a second.
My favorite thing I did there, and I forgot about it when I read it, was that my thumbprint was my signature.
It's worth it. That's exactly right. It's worth it to watch it on YouTube just to see the letter that you use your fingerprint as your signature. Don't let Papa's memory. Just excellent. Yes.
So if you remember, they emailed me back and forth. And it was great for a little while. I'm not going to read the rest of them, but we went back and forth. And then the guy got wise that I was doing a bit, and he started getting creative, and then I cut it off.
Megan dumped me.
But then Bowie, where those emails went was that Megan ended up dating a guy who worked at a Long John Silver's, and that upset me. I got very angry. I was stalking them. It was just a big thing. It was a big deal. So then, buoyed by the response and jabbed by your friend Dave Damashek, I decided to do more of these emails, and I decided to write to a restaurant that I went to in Rhode Island called Sully's, which was this restaurant that I loved going to whenever I was home, whether it would be with a buddy or with my sister or my wife or girlfriend, whatever. I'd go in there for years. And I asked him for a T-shirt. I have a friend named Sullivan, so I was like, I'll get him a T-shirt. It'd be great. And so I emailed. I went back and forth for a while, and it took months and months for him to respond to me. And he said he assumed that I was a big fat guy, which was crazy. Then I corrected it. And then I finally was like, can I please get a T-shirt from you? And then he sent me back this letter, and then I decided to mix it up. This started earnestly. This started as like, hey, I want a T-shirt.
Right.
So I said, hey, can I please get this T-shirt? When can I get ones that are my size? He responded, I really don't know. Not weeks, more like months. I will try and remember you when we get it ordered, but don't hold your breath. Too bad, is what he said. Right. Now, I didn't like that at all.
Not nice at all. He's running a business. That's no way to win customers.
So then I decided to mix it up. I decided to go all pirates, and I said this. Mm-hmm. Okay, no problem. I'm sure it's crazy running that place, and I totally understand. The problem is my wife, I know, will not understand. Let me fill you in on some backstories. My wife, Megan, is from Newton. I went to Megan again, damn it. Did you see? My wife, Megan, is from
why
Newton.
That is.
And like I said, I'm from Rhode Island. We met at Sully's. She ordered 3 breakfast sandwiches and a limeade. I had a green salad, my stomach, and a water, again, my stomach. And at that moment, I knew we'd be together forever. She demanded I buy her a Sully's t-shirt size XXL and promised me that on our wedding night, she would wear it and I would rip it the F off her. Not to tell tales out of school, but mission accomplished. Email high five. Anyway, it's years later, and for our anniversary, she wants a picture of us on our motorbike, me in the sidecar, each wearing a Sully shirt, nothing else. A strange idea, sure, but I'm not going to stand up to her. She scares the dirt out of me.
I need a BTLer monkey within the sound of my voice to create that image best you can. Megan steering the motorcycle, Feeney in the sidecar.
Why am I telling you all this? Because Megan's going to be pissed the shirt hasn't come in. So she's going to be emailing you probably. It's not going to be pretty. If she does, I need you to do 4 things. 1, please tell her I did everything I could to get my shirt and it's all your fault. Say you're going through a divorce or you're a saucehead or something. I don't care. Just keep me out of it. 2, keep your ethnicity to yourself. Italian, Irish, French, no matter where your ancestors came from, she'll attack it ruthlessly.
These are the obligations of the recipient of this letter.
3, do not fall in love with her. And 4, above all else, stay strong. This won't be the first time I catch a beating, but I worry for the tongue lashing she's going to give you. Then I signed it, David.
Right.
Then he almost immediately responds, oh my God. That moved me to look at a long-forgotten bin in the basement. That is the odds and ends from our office as we remodeled. There's a single shirt in there. The logo is a bit crooked, but it's a men's XL. Can I put it in the mail? After that, we don't need to know what you do with it. Email high five. Just give us an address and a phone number to call and get paid. All right. So he's now going to give me my shirt, right? Pretty cool. That's not enough for me. That's not enough for me. I responded the next day. Oh, I wish I got your email earlier. I told Megan the bad news, and as predicted, she went insane. Do they know how much ziti I've spent at that joint? Was the line she repeated while she made me pick up her shoes. FYI, ziti is what she calls money. Back against the wall, I told her you and I were emailing. Well, long story short, she thinks you're a woman. You feel like you're having an online affair. I denied it, but to no avail. My girl's a hot mess. She's going to make me sleep in the tub in the garage tonight. The raccoon is gone. But since something like this has gone on before, one of 2 things are going to happen to you. Either 1, she's going to email you, read you the riot act, and demand a free shirt. Or 2, she's going to email you for my address and pretend she's me and try to get us to flirt and expose our affair. You know if it's number 2 because she doesn't know how men talk and will go overboard trying to sound male. Don't fall for it. I can't believe this is my life. Once again, I'm sorry if this is any inconvenience. Like I said, Megan's a goddamn trash fire, but she's my trash fire. And so, as fans of the show know,
bartender, assistant manager at Sully's.
He then responded back to me, and we went back and forth for a while. I tried to dupe him. It was a thing, and then he got wise as well. But it was pretty good. Anyway.
But he did eventually hear from Megan, right? We don't have to do that whole one. You can go back and listen to it.
He heard from Megan eventually, and she threatened him, and it became a big deal. But so that's the tone of what we're going for, and we have that coming next week.
Oh, so this is just one big tease. I get it. I love it.
Because Dan Penny emailed JetBlue, and we'll see where it goes.
Oh, God damn it. That's funny. I love it. Hey, Gary, let's move on. And let's round things out this evening. Because are you still doing, Feeney, by the way? You still doing your neighborhood cocktail parties, your happy hours? Or have those died down?
Yeah, that's going on right now with the wife out front.
Okay, well, I don't want to hold you up.
I don't need to be a part of that, whatever. But can I say
it's
one
too
thing?
much.
Seeing your face, seeing everything.
Mm-hmm.
Big fan.
Ah, well, that's nice to hear. That kind of feedback really.
Love your work. Love your work.
You're my hot mess. Gary, will you, I sent up the BTL signal earlier requesting some Q and Dave's questions from the BTLs and monkeys. Some good response, and so why don't we do our part to respond here? And Edward from Top Digital Job says, what did Damashek study for his major in college? We've been over that. Babes. babes, and dance. Yeah, I love choreography. That's my first passion. The wisecracking was the fallback. Para Scandalous says, win, play, show. See, Feeney, some people like it. Best deli meats. I'm going to start with you. Why don't you give me your top 3 in order? Win, play, show, deli meats.
Oh, my God. I'm going to say, deli meats.
Here's the tough question.
I'm going to tell you this.
Go ahead.
Turkey breast is number 1.
Turkey breast.
Love it.
Turkey breast, number 1.
Number 1.
To sustain life, turkey breast. I was just about to say.
You're all about bologna. You're all about a pimento loaf. I know what you're about.
No, I find that repugnant, as a matter of fact.
What's your number 1?
Well, the first thing that you have to kind of decide is, I guess you can have both, but just to bring it to life for you, remember, Italian deli, kosher deli. Now, I wouldn't want to say goodbye. Oh, it's wild. There's no prosciutto equivalent they don't have prosciutto at the kosher deli, do they?
No, probably not.
Now, I like a salami. Salami and I were very much in love in my prepubescent years, but then I said goodbye to it for 30-odd years. It's recently come back into my life, and I'm the better for it. Prosciutto, delicious. But I think I would have to go number 1. Above all else, my win deli meat would probably be pastrami. I'm not I'm not going to argue with you about
that would be my show.
Is that right?
Yeah. Mortadella is my place.
Mortadella is delicious and a little bit off the board, I would suspect, for most people. I'm going to put a salami in there at the show. And you know what? I don't think you're that crazy to go turkey. It's good. But I'm a snob. I don't want the kind that you get at your average grocery store in the pre-cut package. I got to go to the butcher and have him shave it for me nice and thin. And give me one just to make sure it's all right first. Is that cut the right way?
That's
now
right.
We're ready to go.
Right.
That's how you
be
do
a snob of it is great. Next question.
Gary,
read. Can I hear Gary's voice? Read some of these.
I'd like that. Oh, here's one. Here's a challenge for David Feeney. After the success of Sheck in the 50s, Jonathan Caudill is requesting a Sheck in the 1860s. Can you do that off the cuff? See, that's why you didn't even make it.
Being the president's first name.
You didn't even make it past the first cut of when we were putting the band together for Mixed Nuts. It was like, don't even show up. It's not going to work out for you, Feeney. That's my improv group.
Ford's Theater, something Emancipation Proclamation. Go ahead. What do you have, Damashek? Go ahead.
That's not my bit. It's your bit, friend.
You were Sheck in the 50s.
That's right. I was. I forgot about that. Gary, go ahead. Let the prima donna have his way. Give us the next question on your. Oh, we have a video one.
Yours, big deal.
We have a video question.
Yeah, for the next one, let's hear directly from the fan.
Oh God.
Hey, Daves. It's me, William from Clearwater, Florida, the show's resident Tampa Bay sports fan. So I just turned 17 and I got accepted to go to Florida State, and I'm headed there this fall. I know you guys have talked a lot about your college experience, and I was just hoping, if you were in school today, what kind of advice would you give for someone like me, whether it's classes or even just getting dames or anything like that? I've loved the show. I've been listening ever since the New Testament came back, and I love your guys' work. Big fan.
William gets it, and that's great.
Was that an oxygen tank behind him?
I believe so, yes.
I was like, the poor guy. Oh, the poor guy.
He's now the boy in the bubble, taking over for Travolta. I like how he stuck it to you. He just put it all out there. He didn't have to trash talk. He just said, I'm the Tampa guy. He wanted to let you know. He's living in, what are they calling it now? Tampa Bay.
Let him take 12. By all means, I have ill will towards nobody. I got my 6.
Your college advice to him as he heads off to.
Here's my question: if you went back, because you had a lot of intercourse in college, I did not. If you had to go back and do it all again, what would you do differently?
Well, I definitely talked to at least one girl during my my time in college. I've said it before. I'll say it again. Among the very biggest ruses pulled by the man on us is the idea that you need to have a college degree. Ignore it. You don't have to. Don't succumb to peer pressure when they're like, oh, I wish I could go out tonight, but I got an 8 a.m. class, or oh, I got to study for the test or whatever. That's what David Feeney. He fell prey to that. He didn't want to show up empty-handed to his professors. He had to show 100%. Up with pages and high-quality ones.
Exactly right.
Damashek went to about 45% of his classes. Now, is David Feeney more successful in the business of show than I am? Sure he is. But is he that much more successful that it was worth it to have zero fun in college? You be the judge.
Yeah, so I went to 0 parties in college.
Zero, but literally true.
That's literally true. I did not go to one party in college, did not go to a fraternity party in college, did not go to any party in college. I did not drink a drip of alcohol in college.
What a weirdo.
I lived at the dorms all 4 years. The difference is that I found a girlfriend junior year named Karen, and we had our way. And we were both kind of hermits, and we kind of stuck together, and that was great. If I had to go back and do it again.
But you didn't hit a home run, to use a sports metaphor, right?
What do you mean? What do you mean by that?
You were 21 years of age at least by the time you graduated, right? But you hadn't.
I was 21
you hadn't
when I
round,
graduated.
But you hadn't rounded third base and brought it on home yet.
I did third, but I never rounded home until I was 23. 23, maybe 24.
Why was that? You had a single lady love.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it just didn't work out that way. If I had to go back and do it, I would not take it so seriously. I would study the best I can, but I would also make sure to have fun. Know that this is you'll never be surrounded by this many people of your own age ever again. Especially women. You'll never be surrounded by this many women again for the rest of your life. And to take advantage of it, to have a good time, to enjoy, not just keep score, enjoy.
Tallahassee, Florida. Have a gay time there, William.
Right?
All the best to you. Next
don't major in dance, for Christ's sakes.
That Jason Snyder says Sheck was ahead of the curve on rosé. What summer beverage pairs best with Sheck's mix? Thanks for the question. A great question, Jason Snyder. I've been enjoying beer of late, and I had been off beer for about 2 years, but the 19 took me to some desperate times, and I, once again, much like I said about salami, beer and I are back on now, and I've been enjoying that. But really, that's the beauty of Sheck's Mix and all my recommendations.
Oh, I can't take it. Another Sheck's Mix reference. You got to get punished for that. Hold on. This is my, huh?
Go ahead.
Hold on. I got to figure this out. There it is. Hold on. Sheck's Mix.
I don't need that. I don't need the AFC title game. I know what play is coming here, too. This is 7 getting picked off by the loathsome Rodney Harrison, who runs it back the other way. Throws it in the flat, picked off.
Rodney Harrison!
21-3 at the half. Damashek's heart's broken. But 7 and company attempt a furious comeback that ultimately fell short when Plexico Burris dropped a short touchdown that would have made it a 1-score game with a full quarter left in Heinz Field that was rocking.
Didn't matter. It was a blowout. Next question.
Next question, indeed, Gary, if we could go back to those. Look at that. Dustin Gabler.
Gary, read that. Wait, how about Donovan read something? Donovan, wake up.
I know. Dance a little bit, Donovan. Sing it.
All right, Dustin Gabler writes, Sheck.
Donovan, sing it.
All right, Dustin Gabler writes, rank picnic foods.
But look at the one under that. Look at what he goes on to say.
Let's go to his first verse. Sheck, rank some picnic foods.
Rank some picnic food. I don't know how fried chicken made its way into the picnic basket many moons ago, well before any of us walked the earth. Why is that a standard item? It doesn't seem to translate to.
That's a great question. It sounds delicious, but I don't think it would travel one. And also, a picnic basket, it's not staying cold. That chicken's rancid.
It's weird, but it's always when they open up the red and white checkered tablecloth and lay it out just before young lovers make their love. on each other under the tree, they enjoy some fried chicken. Weird. I'll go. I mean, you want to take your bottle of rosé, of course. That's
Sure.
that's going to be nice. What else would some finger foods? I would say maybe some of your sliced, like you mentioned there for the little ones. Some fingers of your favorite cold cut sandwich. I'll go with a nice prosciutto, topped by maybe some provolone between two nice pieces.
Not Sheckwitches, not Sheck's Mix.
Well, Sheck's Mix is on the side, but it's unfair because it ends up being the star.
Well, what did you do yesterday for Memorial Day? What did you make for the family yesterday, David Sheck?
Well, I started to say earlier, Amy Schumer and her husband are doing a show on I think it's Food Network, where her husband, who is a chef, teaches her how to make is the bit, and it's low key, kind of casual, nice conversation, and they show you stuff. They made this tray of baked wings, and they look delicious and simple enough even for me to make. So I did make them, and we flipped for them at the house. Just really, really good wings. If you're a wing person but you don't want them fried up, these baked wings that Amy Schumer, I Googled it, and there was the recipe, easy as pie. I was able to put it together. And next stop, Cloud9. When you return to planet Earth, you can thank me and Amy Schumer's husband.
Touchdown, Rodney Harrison. Interesting enough, though, with that show, I tried to do 2 weeks ago and then do it again last week, me cooking food. Damashek kiboshed.
I mean, you really are. You're Trump
put a bullet in it.
Pritzker, to Illinois Governor Pritzker. You're the one in charge. I'm calling the shots now. I'm the one in charge.
I don't know. Are people really going to want to see Feeney make a steak? Really? Damn, Donovan, remember that?
You know what I have in the bedroom here? I have
Don't
one of those
speak up,
things because I have a failing lower back. I've got chronic troubles, so I have one of those things that goes upside down. Yeah, well, that's right. I can turn myself and hang upside down like a bat. And maybe the next show I will do it in part or entirely inverted.
I'd rather you have material prepared, but that's okay. Next question.
That's not my way. Too far in at this point. That's not my brand.
The second half of the tweet asks Feeney, are any more correspondence with Pirates or Dodgers leadership in this time of no MLB?
I see that Donovan lost some hair in his voice in Texas. Pirates, no, but with JetBlue, and we'll get to that next week.
People, as always, want to hear the Sherman Helmsley story. People would like to hear Miguel Fuentes, would like to hear some Sheck in the 60s. Maybe you can do something in a groovy tone of voice there, David Feeney.
Why do you tweet them? I don't write them. You tweet them stuff.
Nick Hoffraj says, what ethnic group will Damashek offend during his wedding toast at Donovan's wedding?
Donovan, what's your race, sir?
Fingers crossed, all.
He'll offend Filipinos.
Lots of Filipino people there.
He will offend Filipinos.
Here's the good one, Feeney, for you. Bernie, a.k.a. TB Prez, asks, who was your favorite Don Draper mistress?
Yeah, great question.
Bernie loves Sally's teacher, cute, nuts, and health conscious. I have a feeling this is going to be an anticlimactic answer.
No, because she to me is place. She's to me is place. The win is Rachel Mencken. Rachel Menken's the greatest mistress of all time.
Really?
That's the woman, yeah. And I would think Show would be
Rachel Mencken was married to George Clooney in real life, right?
No, that's not true. No.
Rachel
No, that was Roger Sterling's wife on the show. In real life is his wife, Talia Balsam, a daughter to Martin Balsam, who was in Breakfast at Tiffany's and Psycho, and who was in All the President's Men. That was Clooney's wife in real life.
Oh,
but Rachel Mencken,
which is Rachel Mencken?
She was the one in the pilot of the Mad Men, and then season 1 was his mistress, the one who owned the department store.
Oh yes,
yeah, she was great. And then he sees her again in season 2 when he's sleeping with Bobby Barrett, who to me is the show of them all.
Bobby Barrett. That's when that the little comedian puts a hand in her, right? And Draper responds by showing her who's boss.
She blackmails him, and then he decides to, or she extorts. That's what he decides to do. She is Show. The teacher is Place, and Win is Rachel Menken. Next.
Who had the better collection of mistresses? Was it Draper or Tony Soprano?
Draper, by far.
By far?
Yeah, Draper. I think Soprano had trash.
Oh, that's not true at all.
Trash.
Had Julianne Margulies.
A drug addict, severely damaged women he had.
All right. Yeah, but they're his mistresses.
Herself. He had the Russian prostitute. He had the woman with one pin, the Russian with one pin. I don't think it's a comparison.
That's right. He had the Russian on one pin.
He's like, what do you got, ice in your veins? She's like, I had ice in your veins when you fucked me on your uncle's couch?
Annabella Sciorra, though.
She was great, but then she killed herself.
And then, but wait, then there was the other one who was with, he went to Vegas and he.
Yeah, that was Maltasanti's girlfriend. She was
right.
great. Remember, she and I had the same trainer. I would see her at the gym all the time. She's a marvelous woman. But in real life, but he was that was Maltasanti's girl, and that was all part of it. Just like the one before her was that girlfriend head of the class, who Mona Lisa, I want to say, who burned herself up when she was watching the Nick Nolte movie. She was Ralphie's ex. He's insane.
I'm gonna go for my answer in the win position. I am gonna go with the teacher. She was my number one.
Her and I and you, remember what happened? Remember you and I, we got drunk with her one night, remember?
Yeah, at the Laurel Tavern. Yep. And,
what happened that night? We went there.
She was there, and she was waiting for somebody, and I think she hung out a little bit longer than she otherwise might have. Who did she have eyes for that night?
It was an Asian or something. Damashek, I've never seen him in shorts, but he wore shorts that night, which was very strange. We were there at that bar, and she was into you. She was not into me. She was into you. Yeah. What else is new? Or Debbie Matenopoulos, doesn't matter. Next question.
Good for you remembering Debbie Matenopoulos in
she liked your sneakers in that remember that?
Yep. Tom Bergen's. We walked into Tom Bergen's and Debbie Matenopoulos strolled by and said, "Nice kicks, dude."
How do you remember that? That's amazing. Yeah, that's exactly right. It was in
My Brush with Greatness.
It was in this
in one of these booths right there.
That
yeah.
booth right there. Who cares?
Gary.
Big deal.
Gary. Was this an all right show?
This is a great show.
He always goes.
Oh, stop it.
I can't stand it.
Why is it a problem to wonder, to want to satisfy people who are listening? You take the time.
Let the work speak for itself. You got to grub for marks. I can see what kind of student you were when you were majoring in dance at IU back in '79. You were like, "Oh, hey." Was that a good pirouette? Was that a good passe? I don't know.
Gary, I mean, don't just say, "Oh yeah, it was good. It was good." Was this an all right one?
Oh, it was really good. I loved revisiting the letters to the Pirates.
Oh man, those are the best.
Donovan, hit me with something. Donovan, kiss our ass a little bit.
All right. Well, when upon seeing the letters visually, so I'm encouraging everybody to check it out on YouTube. It does bring a whole new layer to the letters. I mean, they're great when Feeney reads them, but if you read along with him and actually see the formatting and the thumbprint signature, it really.
Thumbprint.
I had forgotten that I did that. I really forgot that I did that. How great was that?
So next week we'll have Feeney's newest letter writing campaign. This time to a major airline.
The JetBlue, yeah. I threw him for a loop.
Okay. That's as far as we'll take the story there.
I like the Pennsylvania Professional Men's Baseball Club is pretty great.
The Iron City Pirates is hard to beat.
That would be pretty good.
Pittsburgh Beavers.
You double space after your periods.
Yeah, why not? What's the big deal?
Oh no, isn't that over now?
Shut up, Donovan. Donovan's been harping on me for this for 5 years now. That's not over. Really? That's fine.
Why don't you take it up on water cooler, asshole?
I will.
All right.
Hey, check out Water Cooler at your earliest convenience and be on the lookout for good sports at the back end of the Adam Carolla show.
Is that still going on?
Of course it is. Well, periodically, because Carolla was on the road late last week, so we didn't get a new batch in for you this week. But I'm sure we'll be back with some hot new sports talk for you.
Right.
next week there. We did a nice little reenactment. Gary heard it. Me and Carolla played Earl Thomas and Earl Thomas's brother, lining up their weird little
Threesome.
early AM, I don't know, possible felony or whatever happened there. But anyway, in the meantime, everybody be nice and safe. Donovan, best to your lady. Gary, best to you and to the little one at home. David Feeney, of course, to your two girls under your roof.
Are you happy, buddy? Are you happy?
I mean, relatively speaking, I suppose. Sure.
All right. I want to make sure.
I could complain. Yeah, say, look at that. That's even. There we go. We're going to see that play again, as we go out. Ben Roethlisberger trying to rally the Steelers. A rookie. 15-1, these Steelers. But 37 gets them.
Not anymore.
Just a terrible day. Can I tell you something? You've landed on, for me, a lot of longtime Pittsburgh sports fans might cite Francisco Cabrera in 92 or the Steelers in Super Bowl 30 or losing to the upstart San Diego Chargers in January of 95. Any number of tough losses. This is my worst one ever. 15-1 Steelers. Rookie QB. First time a rookie QB would have ever guided his team to a Super Bowl. And at the same time, ended any dynasty talk for your Patriots before it got going. Instead, it went the other way. And now here we are, still all these years later. Now we're readying ourselves for a Tom Brady so-called documentary. There you go.
God bless you. Hey, Damashek, I love you. Be safe this week, huh?
I want you to be safe as well. Look, listen, it looks like we're going to be able to get together soon. Sooner rather than later. You know what we should do? I'm not jiving about this. How about this? The next show we do, maybe it can be my pre-party. But if Donovan and Gary will join us, why don't we socially distance 6 feet apart from all ourselves and go 4 corners and just kibitz in the parking lot of Tom Bergen's or otherwise? What do you think of that?
I'm up for it. It's up to Gary and Donovan. We need the machines.
If they'll show up, we show up with a cooler of beer and rosé and Chex Mix, and we gather around. Maybe we have a bonfire. We tell stories to each other, and we record the thing.
I'm in.
Love the idea. Donovan's in finally. Great. I love the idea.
Donovan, you know the show started, right?
Oh,
now it's over. As a
Donovan's still in Dallas time. All right, hit the music.
All right, yeah, play the Yub Nub song. Whatever was wrong has now been committed to history. It's only sunny days ahead. The Ewoks are singing their song. Wait, is that there? It is. I mean, I don't want to get into it now. This isn't the time. But as I do rewatch some of the Star Wars movies with the kids, really, what went through George Lucas's head that he had to update this song? Why did he have to change this song in the updated Return of the Jedi? I don't want to talk about it, but it is bizarre.
You can't watch them. There's nothing good about them at all. The only good thing about the remakes is I like the way Cloud City looks. Cloud City looks nice.
I agree with that. And I also rewatched yesterday. I rewatched Revenge of the Nerds for the 117th time. I got to tell you,
for
the first time ever watching Revenge of the Nerds, I really felt like maybe it didn't hold up. Why does Tekashi? He's playing poker with Booger. And first of all, the bit is ripped off from Stripes with John Candy playing cards with the dumb guy in the troupe. And he's like telling him the rules. And Tekashi goes, I have a frush, he says. He's like, oh, well, I have 2 of a kind, and that beats a frush. And Tekashi goes, oh, thank you very much. Like that. It's like, wait, so the character Tekashi knows enough about poker to know what a flush is, but he doesn't know that it beats 2 of a kind and gives his money to Booger. It's things like that, scene for scene, that drive me crazy. I don't know that I'm going to be able to watch Revenge of the Nerds ever again now.
Yeah, why don't you tweet about it? How about that?
Maybe I will. Meantime, why don't you go spit? We'll be back.
I check in the 80s. That's a great one.
We'll be back for more Hooey and Applesauce later on.
30 years.
But for Donovan, for Birdbath Gary, and of course for David Feeney. Thanks so much, podcasters. It's been a thin slice of heaven.